Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. I shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where we'll be relaxing as per usual. Normally I would be doing D&D at this moment, but we kind of shifted this campaign start a little bit later, about half an hour or so later. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll record now instead, because now I've got a lot more time. I mean, normally now I just, I finish eating dinner and I'm like, all right, immediately into D&D. Now I'm like, I've got a bit of time to burn. And it's not a session where I've needed to prep a huge amount, I don't think, for. I guess we'll find out. But I think if I know my group, it's going to be a lot more improvisation. So good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow at 7:03 p.m. on Wednesday, May 28th, 2025. Speaking of which, I guess I should probably get my notes open for the session, so I at least make sure I kind of have a concept of what's going on. I know what is going on. I mean, they're like in the aftermath of a battle, really. So what I predict will go on is we'll do the sort of like ceremony thing, and we'll probably try and investigate a bit to see what's going on. But whether or not that will be fruitful, I think depends, because it's... I think there will be some things which I'm learning and some things which will not be, which is difficult. But it depends exactly what they do. I don't want to say in case they don't do it. And then like one of them watches later and be like, oh, I should have done that. But I mean, we're at the point of the campaign where I'm like, I should be answering more questions than I should necessarily be. They should necessarily be asking, hopefully. So I will say that's... Oh, I didn't mean to say that's way too high. I just clicked the first one. I'm going to be honest. I was totally okay with paying a 2,000. That is a chump change to me, Raymond. That's right. I am the 1% on Fawnhallow. Anyway, I don't even know what a Glengarry is, mind you. Is it a hat? Ah, it's one of these hats. I had no idea that's what they were called. Well, now I do. Anyway, yeah, so obviously I'm not going to say what I have in mind for what they could do to get information, but it's not going to be super easy as part of the course. That, I mean, to be fair, I think it's kind of like a consequence thing where it's more like, they had the chance to do a big investigation at a thing. I was so prepared for it. And then it kind of went a little bit pear-shaped, shall I say. And now it's sort of just like, well, obviously this place was not meant to be the prime investigation spot. But maybe you can get some clues about what's kind of going on in a grander picture scale thing here. Whether that will happen or won't happen, I don't really know, but hopefully it'll be a fun time either way. So yeah, I'm recording now instead, especially if we end up finishing a little bit later than usual. Hopefully not too much later, I don't really know. But yeah, we're not talking about Rabbit and Steel today. I will say that I have done a hitless normal run on Rabbit and Steel. I've done it on easy. Now I've done it, I think. No, wait, maybe I did it on easy just now? Not just now, but like, was it yesterday or was it Monday? I don't remember. One of the days. So I've got that level of Ball. I think it was on normal. Yeah. And next I'll be doing it on hard. I don't know how I'm going to do Luna. I think I just need to sort of like lock in and actually be able to beat the bosses solo on Luna first. let alone do it hitless. But yeah, playing Ancient, because I feel like Ancient's the easiest one to do solo on. I was doing a rogue, the assassin, but then I felt like she was not doing enough damage. And I think the risky playstyle probably doesn't lend well to hitless. Because I was like, all right, now I'm just sort of like, because of my low damage, I'm going in playing very risky to get more damage, but that's like not what you want. You want consistency in a hitless run, to be honest. And it's a good thing about Ancient is that they are very very, very consistent. Anyway, well, actually that's definitively not true, but they are easy to play consistently, I think, compared to some other classes. Or like there's no need to, you can play safe with them is perhaps the better way to put it. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Rabbit and Steel, already spoken about it enough. What should we talk about? I guess I could talk about stuff like over the weekend. It was, well, actually today is a friend's birthday, but we did the celebrations on the bank holiday Monday, because obviously Wednesday is not conducive to being able to have a whole day of fun. So we did quite a few different things, but one of the things we did was basically try a super spicy thing. So basically there's this chain, which I think is an American chain but opened up in London, called Dave's Hot Chicken. It's the first time that I went there. Like, 2 of my friends had gone there before, they quite liked it, so we went again. Well, I say again, for me it was the first time with another friend for his friend's birthday. The 4 of us, and we were just basically gonna try the chicken, just gonna have a normal lunch, nothing particularly planned. And I was like, I don't know what to get. I guess I'll just get the set free meal, which is the burger and the tender. The burger and tender are way bigger than I thought they were, and I was like, this is huge. I definitely only needed the burger. I don't need the tender as well. Served on bread, which is interesting, but I think it's like a Louisiana thing or something. I don't really know. But yeah, they basically do like spicy fried chicken, and honestly, my review of it is it's pretty darn good. As far as fried chicken places go, there's a lot of good fried chicken places. I feel like you're kind of spoiled for choice, but Dave's Hot Chicken's definitely up there. But the thing I'm here to talk about is the fact that, well, normally what I do when I'm in a new place, new fast food thing, I'll get like a very basic thing. I mean, I'll get like try and get loaded chips and a milkshake, because that's like my favorite things to order from a place. So that's often what I judge things based off of. But this place is obviously known for its hot like flavors of chicken, and while looking at the sort of spice levels for the things, I saw, you know, they have normal things. They got like normal, they got like mild, normal, hot, extra hot, or something like that, extreme, I can't remember. But then they have one called Reaper, and in my mind I was like, oh, this just must be like the extra. This must be like with Vesuvio and Nando's or something. Like, this is like just the hottest flavor they have, but they gave it a fancy name. But no, it turns out, like, I think it actually does use the Carolina Reaper, which is absolutely insane. If you don't know, the Carolina Reaper is not the hottest chili pepper around, but it's one of the most infamous hot chili peppers, because I guess it's more, I don't know if accessible is the right word, but it's much more like feasible that you can get it, to be honest. Yeah. And it's like 2 million Scoville, I think. And I think like habanero is somewhere like 20,000 Scoville. And I also think Scoville might be a logarithmic scale by weight. So it might be like even hotter than you might imagine. So it's basically, it's not just hot. It's insanely unbearably hot. Like, you can see challenges of people eating a Carolina Reaper or something for whatever reason. As like a YouTube challenge. I've not done it, mind you. Would I recommend doing it? Probably not. Unless you're, I don't know, masochistic, I suppose, in some sense, or, you know, you really, really want to try something super spicy. But anyway, I bought it because I was just like, oh, it just must be the hottest flavor they have. I don't know, let's see how hot it is. And like, I couldn't buy it using the screen thing, like, it didn't work. It turns out because I was trying to order a milkshake and they weren't doing any milkshakes today for some reason, but I could still try and order it from the screen. So I went up to the cashier and like ordered it. And yeah, like I thought it was like a pretty, I mean, it was all very standard. We ordered it, and then I paid for it, and then and then afterwards, you know, when I picked up a receipt and I was just gonna like leave and sit down and wait for my order, she was like, hey, I'm gonna need you to sign a waiver. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to sign a waiver for, and I was like, for the Reaper? And she was like, yes, for the Reaper chicken. And I was like, okay. And then I looked at the waiver, and I think I still have it. It's in my purse. Hold on. It's absolutely crazy. She printed out 2, and I had to sign one for their copy and one for mine. And literally, it's a legal waiver, which is basically like saying I acknowledge that I'm eating a super hot thing, super hot, like spicy chicken. Oh, I forgot about this receipt. I forgot I need to get my friends to pay me for that. But like, I mean, look at the sections. There's disclaimer: Dave's Hot Chicken waiver and release of liability. Yes, it's that hot. Reaper, eat at your own risk. That's how hot it is. So yeah, I just got a single tender Reaper, and I was fully prepared, but I was like, as soon as I sort of, well, I guess we'll get onto that, but the waiver basically is like, it's extremely, extremely spicy. It's extreme test of personal, physical, and mental limits, and carries with it a potential of certain risks, some of which may be reasonably foreseeable. Before ordering a Reaper, you should ensure that you have sufficient experience. So it's like, it's got extreme adverse effects. All intending must agree to the waiver and release of liability, including those partaking in roulette, hotbox, etc., etc. Always ensure that you're able to consume very spicy foods in a safe manner, including having effective remedies such as top-loaded shake, which is their milkshake, which they weren't serving, so, you know, is that on me? or any dairy product, water, or carbonated drinks. So I just had water. Not order a Reaper if you have an allergy or sensitivity to spicy food. By ordering Reaper Roulette Hotbox, accepting this Reaper waiver, you acknowledge that and agree that you're in good health and do not suffer from any heart or medical condition that would make you more sensitive or exacerbated by eating spicy foods. And Reaper contains a very high spice level, and you are able to consume the Reaper safely and understand and accept the risks. And it's like, as soon as she was like, there's a waiver, my brain just went, you messed up. Like, this is way hotter than you expected it to be. Because I was like, I fully did not expect to sign a liability waiver, you know, waiving. But I mean, I can understand why they do it, because they obviously it's meant to be some sort of challenge spice thing. They don't want people just ordering it willy-nilly and like suing and being like, oh, you know, I just thought it was banned, so I just thought it was a laugh, you know. So yeah, I mean, I signed it. I didn't like refund my purchase or anything, because I was like, well, I guess in for a penny, in for a pound, let's go for it. And I said that to my friends, I was like, I had to sign a waiver. I'm like, I think this might be extremely messed up. So immediately my mindset changed from being like, oh yeah, I'll just try their super spicy thing and then I'll probably just be fine or whatever, to, okay, like, this thing is incredibly spicy. I'm going to be very reasonable about this. I'm going to try a tiny bit of it, and if it's way too spicy, I am not going to commit to this. Is it a waste of money? Is it a waste of food? I fully admit, yes, it is. But also, I was not quite aware of what I was getting myself into. So anyway, we wait around, and the Reaper is so hot that they give you a separate tray to eat it on. Like, I had all my food in one tray, and then I had the Reaper tender on different tray, just separated out, marked very explicitly. And I looked at it and I was like, this looks spicy. And I smelled it and I was like, this smells spicy. And I have a pretty good spice tolerance. I wouldn't say mine is like extreme or insane or anything, but it's definitely above average, I would say. Like, I mean, what I mean by like it's not insane but it's like good is like, yeah, I order extra hot at Nando's. Is Nando's extra hot? Like, I mean, it's hot for the average person probably, but it's not like it's not like melt your face off sort of thing. That's what I mean to say, to sort of temper your expectations. And then, you know, I sat down and I was like, this is messed up. So, you know, I immediately went into much more practical mode. I was like, let's eat my normal food normally, which I ordered, I think, hot. And I was like, this is like nice, to be honest, at a comfortable level. But like, I ordered hot, like I had my like tender burger, I had my loaded fries or whatever, made sure like I had my water ever ready. And I was just like, I made it very clear. I was just like, I'm not going to eat this entire thing. I think that's ridiculous. Unless I eat a bite and I'm like, I can handle this. Because I'm like, this was literally lunchtime on the start of the rest. We had like a whole day ahead of us of doing fun things, which I'll talk about in future episodes, I'm sure. So I was like, I'm not going to ruin this entire day by, you know, a ridiculous sense of bravado trying to eat this super Reaper hot pepper when Reaper hot chicken when I have no reason to. So I said that, and I said, I'll just take like a small bite, basically. Like it really was a small bite. It was like the size of my thumb or something. Of like basically just the sauce. And I got like almost no chicken meat with it. It was basically just the skin. And my friend, because he's kind of insane, was like, he's going to take a bite as well. And he took a way bigger bite than I did. I don't know why he did this. I was like, you should take a very small bite and you should see, is it handleable? And then figure out where you're going to go from there. So, I can tell you it's extremely hot, but I feel like I handled it honestly pretty well, because what happened was, as soon as it touched my tongue, because I at this point I know it's hot, I smelt it's hot, and I've signed a waiver saying exactly how spicy and hot it is. As soon as I put it on my tongue and I felt nothing, I was like, this is doomed. This is one of the this is one of the chilies, the spices, which builds up an intensity over and over time. It doesn't immediately get you. So I was like, okay, immediately swallow this as soon as possible. I don't even know if I chewed it down or anything like that. I think I literally just swallowed it, which is not a good idea, but I was like, it's going to burn my esophagus one way or another. I'm at least not going to have it burn my tongue and mouth as well. And then I was like, okay, that's okay. I mean, you can start feeling it building within like the first 30 seconds. And as it was building up, I was like, okay, yeah, this is a good idea. This was extremely hot. My friend did the mistake of, I think, chewing on it and then swallowing it. and he was just honestly having a terrible time is probably how I describe it. Well, I felt like I had a fine time. I was like, that little bite is very manageable, to be honest. Like, it definitely, I could feel the spice in my esophagus. I could feel it like in my throat, but I didn't feel it on my tongue. Like, it didn't stay on my tongue for a very long time. It just felt like a regular spicy thing on my tongue. But I don't lie when I say that is probably the spiciest thing I've ever had. It's crazy. It's not even enjoyable, I would say, because it's like spicy things, at least I think, taste reasonably nice, you know, with a spice as well. This was just like heat. There was other like flavor characteristics to it, but it was so overwhelmingly just spice. It was so difficult to basically taste anything else. So yeah, I mean, I had my like can of water they gave you, and I was like, ooh, I hope this is enough water. It was enough water, just because I mean, again, I had a very tiny bite and I didn't let it linger on my tongue all that much. My poor friend had like 4-5 like cups of like refillable soda cups. It was insanity. But yeah, and like I feel like I don't know how long it took, but maybe it was like 10-15 minutes later. I was like, okay, this is like fine. Like I will go about the rest of my day a-okay. I just realized that I didn't do the thumbnail art correctly yesterday, because I titled it I put 1889 and thing when it should be 1890. What an absolute fool I am. So let's correct that over so quickly. Yeah, but it was insanely spicy. As I say, it was probably the hottest thing I've ever eaten. I would not recommend that for anyone who cannot handle their spice. And yeah, I did actually say afterwards that I was like, I actually think I probably could eat the entire thing of that slowly. Well, actually, maybe I would just do it like as quickly as possible. I actually think it's doable, but I said like the caveat would be I would have to be prepared for it. So 1, I'd have to know I was getting into it. 2, I'd have to have things like milk and ice cream and water ready. And 3, it has to be something where like that is the main event of today. So it's not like I'm going to do anything else that day, because like we had like a whole day ahead of us. I was like, I'm not going to completely ruin the rest of today just because I wanted to eat this entire spicy tender chicken tender. But after doing it, I was like, I think that's actually quite like, it's not a comfortable manageable, mind you, but it is manageable. But yeah, it's my first run in, I think, with any of those like super spicy, very famous super spicy peppers. Would I recommend it casually? No. That seems like, honestly, a terrible idea. I don't know why. I mean, unless you love spicy food, it seems just a bit pointless to really be eating that. Like, so something so spicy, so hot, unless you really want to. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. Like, there's not much else to really say about it, because again, my memory of it is like my friend had a very, very terrible time compared to me, and I was like, all I remember saying was like, wow, this is like the hottest thing I've ever eaten. Like, I would not recommend having a bite of this. I think I said that to my other friends, because I was like, my spice tolerance is pretty good. I think this is way, way, way above my pay grade. So yeah, I would never have that recreationally. I don't know if anyone would have that recreationally, mind you. It's very much there just for the sake of it. Do I regret trying it? No, I don't regret trying it. I do regret not having a moment to like. I do regret in a sense that I didn't properly try and attempt it. But I was also like, it doesn't make sense in that situation. It would only make sense to do it if I, like, you know, had things ready. So yeah, I don't know. Reaper spice. It's very, very hot. And yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Dave's hot chicken. Reaper Scoville. Carolina Reaper averaged about 2.2 millions. Hold on, what is the last dab Scoville? I thought it was like 1 million. But last dab is 2.6. Okay, so the last dab is about Reaper level. PSA, the last dab isn't anywhere near 2 million Scovilles. What? take it out. Eh? So if extra juice just hits you harder. On the dry weight or pepper. So pepper Scoville. If we do a rough estimate, is Scoville rating supposed to be at 3 million? I don't know. So I guess the source is closer to about 150,000. Oh. The bomb. How hot is a Reaper from Dave's Hot Chicken? It's actually hot. It is actually hot. It's not hot enough that I feel like a waiver is necessary. I feel like the waiver is probably necessary for the average person. I feel like if you're... I mean, this is literally the subreddit spicy, so... I'm like, this is definitely way too hot for the average person. There's no way it's 2.2 million Scoville. Is it? Almost died trying that piece of chicken because I inhaled the dusting. It's hot, but it doesn't seem like 2 million to me. Harder time with this than the one chip challenge. Reapers can be up to 2 million. I don't know how hard it is, but it was very much a maybe 300,000 Scoville. I don't know. So yeah, it's probably seems like it'd be about last dab level. I always wondered like how well would I do with a last dab on hot ones. I think maybe I'd be okay. But at least have milk and ice cream and stuff. I mean, I was pretty chill with it, but again, I didn't take like a big bite or anything. It's a very small bite, and I swallowed it as quickly as possible. So I guess if I do that on my last dab, maybe that'll be okay. I have no idea. Anyway, now I just need to get famous enough to go on there, and then more we can find out for ourselves. But for now, I guess we'll round this episode of here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewells. Until next time. Bye bye for now.